Dis-moi.
And condemn Russia's invasion.
What Putin has done in places like Bucha and in Irpin, his war crimes, have permanently polluted his reputation and the reputation of his government.
The final round of the Masters Golf Tournament set to begin soon. USA Radio News.
Soon? More like 10 o'clock.
What?
The Masters Tournament is supposed to be 10 o'clock, I think.
Ever heard of carfentanil? It's a large wild animal tranquilizer. Illegal drug dealers lace heroin with it. It can kill the average human. If you or a loved one is addicted to opiates, even pain pills, don't wait until it's too late. Call the Detox and Treatment Helpline now. We care. Many of us have been where you are. We'll take you or a loved one away from the drug environment to a place you can clean up.
Good morning, everybody.
Plus, we'll work with your insurance company to make sure you get the treatment you need. And
It seems like I'm a little bit lower here than I usually am. I think it's my chair.
Let it Nimoy.
800-707-9709. 800-707-9709. That's 800-707-9709.
Former President Donald Trump continuing to host rallies across the country. The former president spending some time in North Carolina Saturday evening, where he speaks out against critical race theory being taught in schools.
As president, I was proud to sign the world's first ban on critical race theory.
The United States and NATO are imposing heavy sanctions on Russia, which has involved cutting trade agreements and even some Western companies halting sales in the country. Massachusetts Democratic Representative Jake Auchincloss, appearing on Fox News, explains what can be done further to punish Russia's economy.
It is more critical than ever that we cut off its most crucial source of hard currency. That means levying secondary sanctions on companies that are transacting with the
You know?
Okay.
Look at check out all the different programs he did. Check out his biography.
Gold anywhere my pillows $9.99. The body pillow $39.99. And my pillow
Film music.
Huh?
Film music.
Yeah, pretty much film and TV. Buck Rogers. Knight Rider.
Simon, King of Witches. King of the Witches. Buck Rogers, yeah.
Use promo code USA or 1-800.
The red, the white, and the black.
Another person in the Biden administration is testing positive.
Angels from Hell.
Attending what's being dubbed the
Hell's Angels on Wheels. Mad Dog Call.
But Battlestar Galactica is he does Battlestar Galactica.
Yes?
Yeah, keep going up.
Okay, so television stuff. Donna Reed show.
He did the movie too.
When?
78.
Okay.
There was a movie. There was a movie before the program. Yeah.
Why does it not say that?
Let me show you. I'll get it up for you. Let me see.
Wait a minute. Let me see. Oh, there it is. It's on his biography instead of his filmography.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So he did $6 million Man. And Battlestar Galactica, Airplane. Airplane 2. Composed music for The Amazing Spider-Man. Yep. So a lot. Okay, so he did the TV show too. Some TV episodes as well.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's his theme, you know.
Yeah. I'll keep it right there. And talk about him. Absolutely. Maybe you can mention it.
Well, you gotta mention it because I don't have the thing there. You gotta mention it.
Alright, yeah.
It's your show. You gotta mention it.
Absolutely.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host and do not express the views of WVF ownership. Hometown Talk Radio.
So did you take care of Paul yesterday?
Yep.
You happy with you?
And their guests.
Yep.
Good.
I just have to record the ad now.
Hey, Joey, what's happening?
So
I mean, what's
I at least got music onto a tape.
It's time for
And let's see if I can record it next week.
with your host, Joey
I think I can.
Stay tuned for
It's good.
news. Middleboro News. Here on AM 1530 WVBF.
I organize my microphone here. Alright. Your red mic. Good morning and welcome to Middleboro in Review. Today is April 10th, 2022, and I just want to start off right away by saying today is day 2 of the Herring Run Festival. You are in the area of that festival, definitely go and check it out. It's going to be a fun day of a whole bunch of different things, music, and the herring are out as well, so definitely go down there. Day 2 today, 11 to 4. So good morning. Today is, of course, April 10th, 2022. I'm Joey Driscoll. I'm joined by Don.
Good morning, Joey.
Good morning, Don.
I think congratulations is in order because today is the
3-year anniversary. Well, 3-year anniversary show is today. The 3-year anniversary proper was on Thursday.
Right.
April 7th, 2019 was our first program. And today is the start of the 4th year on here on this amazing radio station.
The opportunities you had are unbelievable. I've said it for the last 3 years. It's the people who gave you that opportunity, who took a chance with you and just believed in you. Everybody, from Tony, especially Tony, Tony Lopes, Steve Callahan, Mark Pacheco, Chris Keach, Jim Larkin, Jim DuPont, Paul Latt, everyone. They all love you. They all love you, and they all respect you. And you've shown respect back to these people, and you've worked very hard to help everybody. And you've done real good to blend in over here. You, in my opinion, and I've been around for years, you know how to gel. You're good at gelling with people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And sometimes that's a lost art that people don't have. So congratulations, I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. So today does start the 4th year of this program. So we have a lot of shows here in the next couple of weeks. A lot of fun things to talk about.
A lot of fun. I think it's fun.
We're gonna have fun. Yes.
I think we try to have fun.
A lot of fun.
We try to have fun with this.
Yes.
We keep politics out of it, right?
Yeah.
It's been 3 years. We haven't got dragged into politics.
Nope.
The sewer of politics sometimes it just take you right down. And
I mean, the closest we have gotten is talking about the high school mascot bill.
Right.
That's the closest we've gotten.
Well, but you know what? In a way, that is.
In a way, that's not really politics. It's just talking about the
It's
talking about the bill.
And we talked about the elections. And
well, I did actually give my opinion on the bill. So
right. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all right.
That's the closest we've ever gotten.
Right. I mean, I'm sure I'm sure if you have something that's passionate and you believe in, you're gonna go ahead and do it.
Absolutely.
But on a Sunday morning, I think people aren't looking for that because they got lambasted all week with it, and they can't escape it.
Yeah.
You turn on the radio, turn on the TV, you go online, can't escape it. It's unbelievable. So I think if people are tuning into the show, and we thank you very much for tuning in on a Sunday morning, I just think people are looking for something different, something a little outside the box. I think. Yeah. And the sun is out, so the
sun is out because it's in my eyes.
So our 5,000 watts. From our county,
this amazing radio station we call WVBF. So
from our county road transmission towers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the whole 5,000 watts out this morning because the sun is out.
Not a cloud in the sky. Not a proper cloud in the sky. I see a little bit of streaks of clouds.
No, it's a beautiful day, beautiful morning.
But there's really no clouds in the sky other than some streaks. out there. So a nice day out today.
And
it's supposed to be in the 50s, I believe. Today,
and we do have a guest calling in, correct?
Yes, we do. In about 8 or 9 minutes, we will. And his name is Ed Sutka, the host of Musical Odyssey,
which is aired every Sunday.
Yep, it airs every Sunday, 11 a.m. to 12.
And if you like classical music, definitely tune in.
We're going to be talking about today's program. And we're going to give a little preview about that, about today's program. We're going to give a little bit of preview about Easter's program as well. So stay tuned to that as well. We're also going to, Don and I have talked to Ed as well about other composers that we like to listen to as well and I've heard of before. I'm going to mention Stu Phillips.
Yeah, Stu Phillips. Anybody know who Stu Phillips is? Stuart Phillips.
Yeah.
I grew up. Stu Phillips set my childhood exploding in awe by hearing his music and one of my favorite shows growing up as a child.
So we'll be talking to Ed about Stu Phillips and some of his other favorite composers as well.
Well, we got to bring something to the table.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
we'll be talking to him about that in just a few minutes. First off, let's get some sports and weather out of the way. I want to talk about the Red Sox really fast, as well as what's going on in the world of golf. I don't usually talk about golf here on the show, but in April I do, and I will talk about why I do in just a second. So weather, it is in Driscoll, Texas, 69 degrees currently, nice and sunny outside, like it is here. A high of 92 today in Driscoll, Texas. It's going to be mostly sunny today, maybe some clouds later on. And tomorrow, 95 in Driscoll, Texas. Driscoll, North Dakota, 35. And 51 for the high, mostly cloudy. And tomorrow, 49 degrees in Driscoll, North Dakota. Middleboro, 35 degrees currently. Let me reset that. It's 38 degrees currently. I had that set for the 6 o'clock hour. It's not the 6 o'clock hour anymore. So it's 38 degrees for the town of Middleboro. 57 for the high today, so very nice outside. Tomorrow, 62 in Middleboro, and sunny as well as today. It's going to be sunny. Taunton, 38 degrees, 57 for the high today, and pretty much the same weather for both days in Taunton. All right, that is your weather.
It's important to get the Taunton weather, considering,
absolutely,
as Barry Sanders would say, we are in the center of the universe.
Yes, we are. Yep.
27th century studios here.
22nd.
22nd. I thought it was the 27th.
No, 22nd century.
Yeah, okay.
As he usually says, yes. We are down the hall.
No one can say it like Barry. He's just,
yeah,
I listen to him, and when he says that, when he comes on the air and says that, I just laugh. It's just great.
So yeah, absolutely. We're here in the 22nd century studios here.
Did he plug your show yesterday?
I did mention at the beginning of Silver City Reading House that today will be this.
Oh, you did.
Yep.
So you plugged it.
I plugged it. Yep.
Oh.
So
that's
yeah,
good.
I plugged it. As my, I usually get like a minute or so to talk at the beginning.
Well,
of the show.
you're in the plug-in seat.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Yeah. Usually at the beginning of the show I get a minute or so to talk.
I'm sure everyone's happy
and
that.
That's what I mentioned.
Right. I mean,
yesterday.
How long has that show been on?
I think it's approaching 15 years.
Long time.
Yeah. Yeah. And a couple weeks ago, I did mention on that show about forgetting his name now.
That's good.
I'm forgetting the actor's name, but it was famous actor's name famous actor's birthday, a couple Saturdays ago. He was the main character in Misery, and I don't remember his name.
Oh, wow, that was...
I don't know why I don't remember his name.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. James Caan?
Yes, it was James Caan's birthday a couple weeks ago,
Yep.
a couple Saturdays ago.
Yep.
That's what I mentioned at the beginning of Silver City Meeting House at one of the Saturdays.
All right.
So yeah. Moving on from James Caan to the Red Sox. What we got going on with the Red Sox? The Red Sox have started the season 0-2, losing to the Yankees yesterday 4-2. They have a game. They finish off the 3-game series with the Yankees tonight. I believe tonight is a nationally broadcasted game, I think. Not 100% certain on that. I think so. So that's going to be a good game to watch. And then they will start a series with the Tigers. So that is the Red Sox. What's going on with the Red Sox? Hopefully they can get their first win tonight. In the Masters tournament, the famous Masters tournament that happens every April from the very beautiful Augusta National Golf Course in Georgia. We have the final round today where Scotty Scheffler is ahead against Cameron Smith, who is in second place. Scotty Scheffler is 9 under right now, and Cameron Smith is 6 under currently. Tiger Woods did compete in this in the Masters. I don't know how good he did. He was in the running, at least, for a little while. He did pretty good. He was in the running for a little bit, but he did compete in this tournament. So that's some good news there that he's back and competing. All right, so we have a phone call here. I believe this is going to be Ed. Get my thing going here. And good morning. You're on WVBF. Good morning, Ed. How are you? Awesome. Okay, we are gonna go take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're gonna be talking with Ed Sutka here in just a few minutes. So stay tuned here on WVBF 1530 AM and 99.7 FM. We'll be right back.
Joe, I'm getting nothing here.
Oh, you're getting nothing? Hold on, let me try to fix that.
Well, make sure you get your commercials.
Yeah. Okay, let me...
Yeah, just take care of it.
Let me play a commercial first. Okay. Let me try to fix that.
What, is there a problem over there? Oh.
That's why. It wasn't on.
I gotta swap out. This one doesn't work.
All right.
That's a little bit clearer.
So how are you this morning, Ed?
Good. I've been up for a long time, but that's typical for me. I'm very early riser. I like to watch the sun come up. And I thought for a while we would just have a lot of clouds today, but now it's all blended off.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to. Yeah. I think it's going to be nice.
So are you excited about having your show's anniversary today?
Yes. Yeah, it's great. Can you hear? Perfect? You good?
I
Okay.
can hear the commercial, yeah.
All right, good. All right.
All right. I think we can all hear each other.
We got about a minute. And 3, 2, 1, and 0. And we're back here on Middleboro in review as I pot down the music there and
The groovy bass.
yes, the groovy music here.
Glenn Hughes would be proud with that bass work, huh?
Yes, absolutely.
Paul Jones,
very,
Gary Lee, he's a Butler, all the bass players.
Very good bass work there. Today is April 10th, 2022, and we are joined by Ed Sutka. Good morning, Ed.
Not bad. Good morning. Beautiful morning, Ed. How you doing? Good? Have you been outside yet?
Oh.
Yeah, it's a little. There was a little frost on the windshield, but nothing that the frost I can't handle. Oh no! I mean, I think we're out of the woods. Hopefully, at this point in time, as far as snow and other activities that Mr. Weatherman can throw at us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, today's program, it's called Edward Elgar, and you can correct me if I'm saying that wrong. Okay, great. Edward Elgar, musician of the British Spirit. So tell us a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit about Edward Elgar.
Context first, and then I'll ease into it. But at the time Elgar was active, he was born in the 1850s. At that time, Great Britain, as it was then called, was the most powerful country in the world economically and militarily. But the one area they lagged in was music. They had produced some composers, but not really anyone on the blockbuster level. And that's what they wanted to do. They wanted to be as superior in music as they were in some of the other areas. And Edward Elgar was probably the last person they thought, when he started his musical career, who would fulfill this role. He came from a very modest family. They didn't have a lot of money. They were involved in music, but he was mostly self-taught. So he progressed slowly. And he was just the opposite of a child prodigy. But by the time, let's say the late 1890s, 1900, around that era came along, he was in his 40s by then. He was recognized internationally, not just in Great Britain, but internationally as a great composer, and maintained that for the rest of his life. So it took him a long time to get there, but he is enormously respected, and many people think He is the greatest composer Great Britain ever produced.
So some of the pieces on here. The first one, Serenade for Strings, first movement.
Yes, and that he wrote that piece when he was in his 30s, and it was a birthday present for his wife. They'd been married 3 years at that point, and that was quite a nice anniversary present, and very beautiful piece of music.
And then going down here a little bit, there is some cello pieces on here as well. A cello concerto in E.
Yes, and the cello concerto turned out to be his last major composition. He did live a number of years beyond that, but he did not produce anything major during that time period because World War I was a shattering experience for him, as it had been for many of the people with artistic talent, because they were sort of used to a culture before World War I where everything was very sophisticated and advanced and civilized, or so they thought. And then World War I came and sort of destroyed all those illusions. And Elgar found that after the cello concerto, that his world, the pre-World War I world, could not be very easily replicated. So that was really, the cello concerto was the last of the great Elgar pieces, but it's a wonderful piece. It's my own personal favorite of all the pieces I selected for this program.
Don, do you have a question for Ed?
Yeah, good morning, Ed. How you doing? As far as that particular CD you put together for today, you said that that's one of your favorites. So when you put these together, it's pretty much it's a labor of love in a way. I know you're right.
End of the 57 minutes of music, it all comes into a coherent whole. It sounds simple, but it's very hard to work it out sometimes.
Yeah, but I mean, the way you put those programs together is flawless. I mean, it's just unbelievably perfect. And like I said last time we talked, you have to be very precise on everything to get your product to the finished product, which is absolutely excellent every time I hear it. And but I guess that's the MO as far as what you have to do for your listeners. Everything has to be just spot on perfect, correct? Right.
It's going to be that good.
How much time do you take to do a particular program, like an hour program that Joey would play it from 11 to 12 today? How long is that?
A week from today, the entire program is devoted to one piece, Bach's St. Matthew Passion. So that doesn't take, as far as timing, it doesn't take as much, because I know I'm only dealing with that one CD that I'm pulling the music off of. A little easy, but with the time doing the St. Matthew Passion was taken up, was doing a lot of historical research, long, very few commentaries, but they're long commentaries. And also, the St. Matthew Passion is a very lengthy piece, much longer than we have time allotted. 57 minutes of music, 57 minutes of program, including the music. So it's what can I leave out without causing too much harm? That was the challenge in doing that one.
I think by doing it all these years, the whole research part might be a little easier because of your vast knowledge of the people playing it, the musicians playing. So as this show progressed, do you find it a little easier in the research part, or is there something that you need to, I don't know, it seems like when you know something about a musician or whatnot, there's always something more you want to find out. Is that pretty much how you
get material, research material that you could speak about, do narrative, do commentary for, let's say, 2 minutes. But then you find that you only have 1 minute, 30 seconds left in the program. So you then have to pare down your commentary. And it's not difficult to do commentary, but paring it down is difficult, because what can I pare down and still have this be worthwhile, still have this make sense?
Right, you have something in mind that you want to say, but you have time. You have limited time, and you need to put all that commentary out in a certain amount of time. I can see how that can be a little frustrating.
In the end, especially at the end, some of that can be trimmed down without losing anything that's really essential. So that's where I've gotten some of those extra seconds that I needed to make a program work.
Wow. You never think, I mean, we do a live show, so we really don't, I mean, I know Joey does commercials and whatnot, but we're not really under any time, we are to a certain point, but to put a show together in such a tight timeline, that must, takes a lot. I commend you for being able to do that, because it's a lot of patience. A lot of people don't have patience, but
That's right, and that's, to appreciate classical music, you have to develop patience, because otherwise it's gonna seem very boring and pointless. But to some extent, that's where we are in our culture right now.
Wow.
So, what we also mentioned and teased that we were going to talk about is Stu Phillips, conductor for many, many classical
have you heard of him?
TV shows. And
Ed? Okay, go ahead, Joey. I mean, we got to bring something to the table here, okay?
So he is the composer for theme songs such as the theme song to Battlestar Galactica and Knight Rider. He's also done several movies, many movies actually, like Buck Rogers and Mad Dog Call, that came out in 1961, and much more, and a whole bunch of television shows. We composed some music for the Monkees television show, 54 particular episodes. The $6 Million Man. He did one episode of that. So he has done a lot at his great career. Stu Phillips.
I don't know of him, but one of the reasons that he's not a candidate for being on the program is that there's a 95-year copyright window.
Right.
So I always try to respect that, but it does mean that anything written 1927 or more recently, not eligible.
Right. You have the restrictions of the ASCAP or whatnot. The reason I brought it up, and I think I talked to you last time about it, is as for somebody, I'm 54 and Joey's 20. I grew up with that. That was my introduction to classical music, was the themes to these space operas, to these Star Wars, John Williams, and particular this individual, because Battlestar Galactica I grew up with, and that music just went through my soul. It's just, I could not get that music out of, because it was my favorite show and I liked sci-fi. So in a way, classical music gets everybody in a certain degree. They get them, it might be a television show, it might be even a commercial in some cases. You have the nuts and bolts as far as all the masters and all the individuals who made classical music, put it on the map. That's what makes you a true professional. But to me, and I listen to your show too. I sit here with Joey for the last 3 years, and we sit here and I listen to you, and I listen to your commentary, and I listen to the. But it's something that came into my heart that got me going with classical. That's all I'm trying to say. Yeah.
And some of these changes took years, actually. Sounds strange, but it's true. That very gradually I warmed up to some of these pieces, and some of my favorite pieces now are pieces that I had a very hard time tracking with when I first started listening to them.
Warm up. That's me and Joe use that term all the time as far as music.
Yeah.
Warming up. Got to warm up to it. Got to warm up to the album. Got to warm up. But
yeah, you gotta listen to it, more than one time, most times.
Now, the favorites you had when you were younger, okay, that seemed because if you listen to music so long, so much, and it's your favorite, and you listen to it over and over and over and over, do you find that what your favorites were now are not necessarily your favorites now? Oh, who doesn't like that? Oh my God, everyone knows that.
But it's not one of my favorite pieces.
Right.
And the same thing happened with some of the other pieces. So the classical pieces are less emotional, but have a lot of depth. Those are the ones that I'm most attracted to now.
Yeah. No, I get it. Yeah.
So we have previewed today's program, and we talked a little bit about next week's program, which happens to be the Easter program, Bach's St. Matthew's Passion. And are there any other programs coming up in the next couple of weeks that you want to highlight?
The week after the St. Matthew Passion is going to be devoted to Czech composer Antonín Dvořák, and the whole title is Antonín Dvořák, Musician of the Czech Spirit, because there was great, and it was not Czechoslovakia or the Czech Federal Republic then, it was just part of Austria, and the Austrians treated the Czechs as second-class citizens and treated the Czech musicians as second-class musical citizens. So Dvořák had a very, very difficult time. He had tremendous talent, but he had a very difficult time in getting recognition. And finally, he was successful because he was that good. But he made a tremendous breakthrough for the Czech people, as well as producing great music.
You know what I find fascinating? You talk about, now you talked about both pieces that by doing what you do, putting all these everything together as far as what you make, you are a historian behind that because you have the historical sense of every piece of music, and that's pretty fascinating because you can tell us about the musician, you can tell us about everything, but then there's a backdrop on the history and what happened or whatnot. I mean, you're like a historian too, as far as I'm concerned.
Strive for that. So if it's you're resonating with that, I really am happy about that.
Well, it's just obvious. I mean, because you're talking, you got all these parts. You got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just not one part. And this, we're talking about this particular musician, or we're talking about this particular person. We're talking about what the music was, the backdrop, everything. I mean, all down the line. I mean, you could almost write a book about it.
It's a great joy to really get it out there and put the program together and make it effective. But it does take work.
I bet. Anything that's worthwhile, it does take some time. Joey?
So it's 7:42. We're going to take a commercial break in just a few minutes. Is there anything else that you would want to talk about? Anything else? Any other program coming up, or anything special coming up that you might want to mention?
It's today, next Sunday, the Sunday after. That's very near future, but I will mention that I have 2 programs at the end, the last 2 weeks in May, all Spanish composers in both programs. That may be interesting to some people. There'll be a program also in May on Italian composer Antonio Vivaldi. And there'll be a 2-parter, first 2 weeks in June, called Classical Serenade, and then followed by another 2-parter, also in June, called Invitation to the Dance. That's just an overview of what's coming down the pike.
And I can understand why you don't want to reveal too much, because it's like one of those things. It's this. I mean, we made this, and listen to it today, and go for it, because you don't want to. I don't know. You don't want to open yourself up too much. It's just it's in a way. But I mean, anybody who likes Spanish composers and Italian composers, and anybody listen, that might really say, "Oh, now I have to listen." But the thing is, the whole idea is you want them to listen every week.
Yes.
So we'll give. It's like anything. It's like advertising. You give a little dribble. Oh, it's a radio business. We'll give you a little dribble, and then at the end of it, it's just like, well, stay tuned. We'll be right back. So now they got to sit for 5-6 commercials, and then they're back. So I think that's what he's trying to say there. But that's.
So
we should take the commercial. We'll talk to Ed a little bit longer, right?
Yeah. Okay. When we come back, we'll finish up talking with Ed, and so we'll take this commercial break, and we'll be right back here on Middleboro in Review for April 10th, 2022. There we go. Perfect. All right.
Joey, give me my phone.
Oh, your phone. Here you go. So when we come back, we'll finish up. Maybe Don has 1 or 2 other questions. And we'll finish up when we come back. Don.
Yeah.
I'll give the next question to you. Okay.
Okay.
You have like a final question you want to ask?
Yeah.
We got about a minute. All right. All right, coming back in 3, 2, 1, and 0. And we're back here on Middleboro in
Got the music going,
review
Joey.
here as I turn down the
There you go.
music. There we go.
You're getting better with it. You're getting good with that fade button, huh?
Yeah, there
Nice.
we go.
Good for you.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm getting better with it. I used to just cut it off, but I'm getting better with the fade music, fading of the music. So we're back here with Ed Sutka and Don. You have one more question that you would like to ask Ed?
Yeah, I talked about this before, Ed. Again, I'm getting back to the sci-fi and getting back to my passion as far as with classical music. How classical music got me hooked. I got hooked on classical music. It was through in 2000. I think it was 2015. Leonard Nimoy did a tour, and he was at the. I guess it was with the Boston Pops. I actually saw it, and Joey actually saw it. Oh, it was I think it was 2015. Yeah. About Out of This World, of all the different sci-fi orchestra pieces out there. Is there anything that you like as far as sci-fi pieces? What's your favorite?
I would not nominate anything particularly in sci-fi, but I will throw out this as a recommendation. There's a piece called Mars, the Bringer of War, which is the first section of a piece called The Planets by Gustav Holst.
Right.
And that piece, lasts maybe about 8 minutes, Mars, the Bringer of War,
Right.
Was tremendously influential on John Williams in putting together the movie, the music for Star Trek. I mean, Holst, without Holst, I don't know if he would have come up with music he came up with.
You mean Star Wars or Star Wars, right?
Conflicted too, but yeah, it's Star Wars, right?
Growing up, I remember hearing that. I grew up, Emerson, Lake and Palmer did that. They did a version of that. And growing up in the late 70s, early 80s, you're always looking for something. And they were pretty much, they were like a out-of-the-box kind of band for their generation. Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, so the Mars, the Ring of War. So you listen to that, and then you listen to anything out of Star Wars. And it's pretty much almost it's similar to you, in your opinion, correct?
On John Williams.
Oh, wow. And everyone loves John Williams. Think about it, right? Who doesn't? But that's just a household name. I mean, some of the names that you mentioned today in this program, I'm sure not many people know, unless, like you said, you got to research it. And then the whole history part comes behind it.
Actually, two musicians named John Williams who are famous in the world of classical music, and the other John Williams is a guitarist. But the music he performs is completely different from what John Williams, the conductor and composer, performs.
Yeah, some of my favorites as far as sci-fi, Superman, of course, all the Star Trek spinoffs, Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, like we mentioned, and Raiders of the Lost Ark. So, in a way, growing up as a child, watching these movies, that's my introduction to classical music, is the movies, and being so. But that's that's the Hollywood glammy, glossy part of it, and but it's all good in my opinion.
Differences in style depending upon which movie music you're listening to. So some does sound more like classical music, but some doesn't.
Right.
It's a mixed bag.
Right. No, I get it. But Battlestar Galactica is my absolute favorite. It's the way it starts out. I mean, just the beginning of the program is. I'm not sure if you ever watched the program or whatever, but the beginning is really good. There's a little, there's a little talk. They do a little talk first, a little segue into it, and then they go into it, and it's just always blow me out of the seat. It always did, even today. And I'm talking, 11, 12 years old child watching this. I'd run home, and would never miss it, just because I wanted to hear that theme. And the program was pretty good. It was fun, but I could not miss the beginning. I had to get there like right when it started at 8 o'clock, and I could not miss that theme, because if I missed the theme, I missed I don't know, 90% of the program, in my opinion. So it was something that was very important to me as a child. Right, Joey, any final thoughts?
I agree with you. Star Trek, Star Wars, Battlestar Galactica, really great themes. I would also say that there are some really good themes in horror music, in horror films, like Halloween.
One of the best is in the original cycle, the first cycle that Alfred Hitchcock was the director for. The music matches the action very closely. It's very effective.
The shower scene, right? Right.
Is fleeing. The music in the background as she's driving along. That's music by Bernard Herrmann. Very effective. And Hitchcock used Bernard Herrmann in other movie music as well. Vertigo, especially. Vertigo, extremely effective. I
know John Carpenter did all his composing on Halloween, actually, and Escape from New York too. A lot of it was synthesizer, so it wasn't too much traditional that I could hear anyway. But all in all, it was something else. I think it was different. I kind of liked it. I think John Carpenter did a really good job on all his movies, because he did it. As far as I know, he did all that.
Okay, and Ed, I would really like to thank you for being on the show today.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm sure anybody listening will, they're gonna wanna. They're hearing you, in more of a conversation than just they really hear what your thoughts are as far as putting everything together, and that I think makes things more exciting to the listener. In my opinion, having an interview with somebody who does all this hard work to put a program together every week. So, yeah, I want to thank you too, Ed, and
yes. Yep.
You're more than welcome to come back. Maybe one day you can get here into the studio when you feel it's appropriate and the time is right, and we could always have you for the hour, and we can talk about anything under the sun.
see if we can put it together.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ed. Yep.
Yeah.
Take care.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
All right, and that is Ed Sutka calling in. He called in today, and want to thank him again for calling in.
That was a great interview.
Very good interview. Yes.
I could talk to him for hours. Hours and hours and hours and hours. It's just so much I could ask that man. I think we did, in a way, as far as the sci-fi music. I'm sure he knows about it, but I don't think that's really his corner. You know, it's more traditional, the classics and whatnot. And but classical music affects people in all different ways.
Absolutely.
Like he said, there was some pieces that he couldn't warm up to at the beginning, but now it might be one of his favorites. And
yes,
all in all, that's music altogether. You know, he said the universal word, warming up to it. Warming up to it. So, you know.
All right.
Eyeballing the clock.
I'm eyeballing the clock. Yes, we're running short on time, so I need to do the Today in Histories. We have 3. 8:37. Halley's Comet makes its closest approach to Earth at a distance equal to about 5.1 million kilometers or 3.2 million miles. The next time that everyone will be able to see the comet, usually people would be able to see it about twice or so in their lifetime. The last time was 1986, and the next time will be 2061. So that's Halley's Comet. 1866, the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals is founded in New York City. In 1925, The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald is first published in New York City by Charles Scribner's Sons. And I would strongly recommend you check out the 2013 film adaptation of the book. It is fantastic. Tobey Maguire is in it. Leonardo DiCaprio plays Gatsby in an absolutely fantastic performance. It's one of my favorite Leonardo DiCaprio films, The Great Gatsby. Birthdays. We have 1847, Charles Pulitzer, Hungarian-American journalist, publisher, and politician. He founded Pulitzer, Inc. 1936, John Madden, American football player, coach, and sportscaster, who we sadly lost this past year. 1950, Ken Griffey Sr., American baseball player, one of the best, including his son as well. His son's really great as well. And deaths on this day, Stuart Sutcliffe, Scottish artist and musician, well known as the Fifth Beatle.
The Fifth Beatle, in my eyes, is the keyboard player there.
Yeah.
You know.
He had the name the Fifth Beatle, Stuart Sutcliffe. Yeah.
Well, early 60s.
In the early 60s, yes. All right, that will do it for today's program. I hope everyone enjoyed.
Billy Preston, that's
Billy Preston, yes. Yes, he was the Fifth
Beatle.
He was the fifth. He was
Billy Preston was the Fifth Beatle.
He was the true Fifth Beatle. Stuart Sutcliffe, he was in the band, yes. So, I would give Stuart Sutcliffe the Fifth Beatle, and Billy Preston
Billy
Preston was in the band, yes.
He was the
Stuart
Fifth Beatle.
Sutcliffe was in as well. I'm saying both of them were in there.
Okay.
So I have to give one of them that Fifth Beatle moniker, and it is stated.
Well, you know what?
It is stated that
get Chachi on the show, and he can, all right.
It is stated in his Wikipedia that he's the Fifth Beatle. I don't know.
All right.
Anyway,
have a great week, everybody.
We'll talk about it next week. I don't know. I'll look at his Wikipedia. But Billy Preston, yes, he was in the band. He had a big influence.
He was the fifth Beatle.
He had big influence
Fifth
as
Beatle.
well. All right, so that will do it for today's program, and we'll be back next week, April 17th, 2022. Bye-bye, everybody.
Broadcasting live from the Taunton Federal Credit Union Studios at 14 Church Green, we are AM 1530, WVBF, Middleboro, Taunton, and W259DD, Middleboro Center, 99.7 FM, your hometown radio station.
USA Radio News with Tim Berg.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says Russia's ongoing invasion is a threat to the whole of Europe. Zelensky delivering that message in a Saturday night address posted to his Telegram channel. This as Ukrainians are reeling in the horrors of Russian aggression.
I know we will win this. We have no doubt about this. There is not a person on this world that could beat us or submit us to anything.
That audio courtesy of Fox Business. That Ukrainian woman interviewed amid the devastation in Bucha says Russian soldiers came into her house
Bye, everybody.
and made her